morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're feeling great. Welcome to Unity on the Bay. We are your positive path for spiritual living. We're so grateful that you're here. We're so grateful that you're you. And we would just love to appreciate your presence here with us this morning. June is Pride Month, for those of you who didn't know. Yes, so today we celebrate our pride and we dedicate our celebration to LGBTQ plus pride in our community. All right, yes, absolutely, give it up. For anyone who is here for their first or their second time this morning, welcome. Thank you for being here. My name is Shante Haymore-Kearney, and I am your Sunday morning hostess. We'd love to connect with you and answer any questions that you may have. So just text us by using the information that's on the screen, whether you're here in person or visiting us for the first time online. We also have a special gift waiting just for you. And while we're here, our youth are having their time of inspiration and learning in the Kids Zone. Online, and you can enroll your child in our Kids Zone by visiting the Family tab on our website, unityonthebay.org. I want to share a few things with you before I bring up our special guest for today. So you may have noticed or have heard that with new guidance from the CDC, our Board of Trustees has given us the green light to change our COVID-19 safety guidelines. Here are the changes that you should know about. The first thing is that pre-registration is no longer required to attend service in person. Our seating has increased to 100 people per celebration. We're not quite at that capacity right now, but we do have capacity for 100 people to be in the room safely. Vaccinated individuals can choose to wear their mask or to not, while we ask our non-vaccinated friends to please continue to wear your mask. We also discontinued social distancing, but you'll notice that we are wearing name tags that indicate our level of comfort with touching. So please notice that and ask for consent before you reach out and touch someone, okay? If you didn't get one, please ask an usher for one of your tags. And we also ask that you stay home if you're not feeling well, and that you also exercise respect, honesty, and integrity while you are here. We thank you very much. While the world continues to evolve, we evolve with it. So thank you for this evolution and your patience in our process. Okay, if you have ever wanted to host a book club, now is your chance. So I'm talking to anyone here in the room or also online who may want to be a host of our summer sessions of spirit groups, which kicks off this July. So you may be wondering what a spirit group is, and it's basically our fancy way of saying book club. Hosts play a very important role in our book clubs here at Unity. They move the gathering along, they make sure that participants get to share, and they're honoring the guidelines for successful sharing and flow of the book club and the curriculum. We will provide all of the necessary training and information that you need to be a confident and successful host. All you need to do is be willing to show up. Our book for the summer is The Book of Joy, which is written by the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. Can we say wow? First of all, look at that tag team. What a powerful, powerful dynamic group of individuals. So we know that you're going to love this book. And if you're feeling called to host, head on over to our website and look for spirit groups. All right, let's just take a deep breath together. I'm very excited. As you exhale, I'm very excited to introduce our guest today. Our guest today is no stranger to our Unity on the Bay community. She is an inspiring and well-respected Unity minister and spiritual teacher. She's also the author of 3 books. The first one entitled How to Pray Without Talking to God, Moment by Moment, and Choice by Choice. The second, Divine Audacity, Dare to Be the Light of the World. That's the book that I own, Reverend Linda. And her newest book, This Life is Yours. Her message about our divine identity inspires people across cultures and faiths to meet life circumstances with spiritual maturity. She is currently the Vice President of Unity Prayer Ministry and Silent Unity at Unity World Headquarters. Please help me welcome our friend and guest minister today, Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsett.
This is where I what?
Pray.
This is meditation?
No, this is opening prayer.
Oh, I didn't know I was opening with prayer. Good morning. We are in this temple together. Whether you're here locally, whether you're at home, wherever you are, God is. So let's join in prayer as we know that there is only one power, one presence, ever presence, ever presence. Right here and now, we are connected, united in one presence. And we are one presence, one consciousness of divine life. We notice the life that is thrumming in the cells of our own bodies, in the movement of fluid, of blood, in our nervous system. And we take a moment to appreciate life. In this divine life that we share, there is continuous evolution, the forward, onward, upward flow. We acknowledge it, we appreciate it, we participate in it by our presence. We celebrate this beautiful morning in community. For we are one, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Linda. And now it gives me great pleasure to welcome home the one and only Karina Iglesias. Hey, come on up.
Good morning. Happy Sunday. It's okay to clap your hands on a Sunday morning. Yeah. All right. Think of your fellow man. Lend him a helping hand. Put a little love in your heart. All right. You see it's getting late. Oh, please don't hesitate. Put a little love in your heart. And the world will be your back
so much, Karina, and our music ministry. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Put a little love in your heart. Everyone give themselves just a little touch on their heart. It's already filled with love, but put a little bit more in there. There's always room for more. Today, our daily word is being read by Leslie Ann Fry Thomas. Leslie Ann is an Emmy Award-winning writer, a wife with two newly adopted children, with an unapologetic passion for Black queer stories. Leslie Ann is energized by life's complexities, and as a queer artist of color, is committed to reflecting its intricacies in her work. She solidifies this in her newly printed book, Poom Poom Rock, There's No Place Like Homo. The story of a young Jamaican woman, the story of a young Jamaican woman who, years after surviving brutal conversion therapy, attempts to return home, not just to face her demons, but to bury them. She says that while reading the Daily Word is an honor for Leslie, and doing so during Pride Month is a cherry on top of what is already a delectable spiritual Sunday. Please help me welcome Leslie Ann Fry Thomas. Awesome, thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, Unity. Thank you, Shantae. I'll be reading the daily word today. And here we go. Today's daily word is about healing. My thoughts, words, and actions affirm divine life. Today, I give thanks for my constant activity of divine healing life, especially when my body is experiencing illness. To bolster my awareness of my capacity for healing, I place my attention on my inherent wholeness. I affirm life in my thoughts, my words, and my actions as I care for my body and meet its needs. My faith assures me that illness is not the truth of me, nor is it my enduring reality. Through my actions, I am affirming wholeness as my true nature and encouraging my healing. Even when I'm not facing illness, I greet each day by blessing my body, affirming my wholeness, and the ongoing of activity of divine life in every organ and in every cell. I give thanks for the gift of divine life by giving thanks for my healing and by living joyously. And the scripture reads, He said to her, Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. Luke chapter 8, verse 48. Thank you. Happy Pride.
Friends, let's turn our mind to meditation now. Right where you are, get in touch with your divine life center. And so that would be in the region of your regenerative organs. So sit, if you would, just move your body, if you can, just a little further toward the front of your seat. What this does is press your pelvis a little forward and allows your spine to naturally lengthen. And this allows you to get in touch with this energy center of divine life, the regenerative power. And as you do that, to further activate your divine life center, just rotate your torso slowly around your pelvis, just really creating a little loop of movement of your upper body, slowly, almost like a trance, right? Just without force, just gently moving. This stimulates the life center so that we have an embodied awareness of our great power of divine life. And do that for just another moment before you settle in stillness. God is the author, the origin of life. In fact, life itself. The power of life that I am. I give myself this message so that I instruct every part of me, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, to awaken to this realization right here and now. Wherever I have misperceived myself to be powerless or limited, I correct that thought right now. I am divine life. The animating power, the source of that life, God, is the flow, a continuous flow of energy and vitality in my body and in my experience. Let me breathe in that awareness here and now. I am divine life. And I sit in silence for a few moments, noticing the activity of life in my pulse, in perhaps the subtle movement of flow throughout my body system, celebrating life. In this ever-presence, I activate and bring forth my power of life. I know that I am ever in motion. that the life I am is always forward, onward, upward flowing. That I give life to my hopes and my dreams, and all that I give life to lives. I am one with the one power by which this is possible. And so I celebrate this great news that I am in no way helpless. I am the very power of life. And so it is. And so it is.
Song says only love can save us. Every morning when I wake up, she kisses me goodbye. And as the hours go by so slowly, I can't wait to kiss her goodnight. So you're standing on the outside, telling us we don't belong. Oh, but if her heart can make me smile, tell me how can this be wrong? Only love can save us, bring us back to life. Only love can revive us, make us feel alive. Only love can show us there's more than black and white in the end. Love is who we are. Oh, love is who we are, yeah. Ooh, I thought the times they were a-changing, but it's just a different day. Oh, with the same misunderstandings, hidden by there's a universal language. You can read it with a smile. Oh, it can bring us all together like the innocence of a child. Only love can save us, bring us back to life. Only love can revive us, make us feel alive. Only love can show us there's more than black and white in the end. Love is who we are. What will it take till we open our eyes and see a child who will take his own life? Oh no. If Dr. King were here today, he'd defend the human race. Only love can save us, bring us back to life. Only love can revive us, make us feel alive. Only love can show us there's more than black and white.
Karina wrote that song, FYI. Only love can save us.
Yes,
Bye.
original
Karina.
music. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, hello.
Amazing.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Is it a wonderful thing to be in community on a Sunday morning? Oh my word, my heart is so full. This is new for me too, because I've been online just like all of you for the last year, more than a year now. So what a delight. There's something that physicality really adds for us that are able to gather together in one location. I tell you what, the Daily Word already gave my message, so I think we're done. I mean, I feel like that's my message. And here's the thing. This talk title, this message, came before I knew the Daily Word for today, because it's about what I've been writing about and speaking about for the last couple of years. So I want to just tell you a story first. The last time I traveled, pre-COVID, I arrived somewhere where there was a beach, and I needed to prepare, right? So I brought a brand new razor along with me for the task. Now, they call me irreverent for a reason, so you'll have to put up with my story. I went to shave my legs, right? And I took the new razor, I lathered up, I ran the razor over my legs, and then I looked to make sure I got all the spots. The hair was still there on my legs and not on the razor. And I thought to myself, well, something's wrong with this razor. It was just a hand razor, right? Not an electric one. And I thought, this is very logical, right? I thought, let me try somewhere else. So I found another spot on my leg and ran the razor as if to think that there's something wrong with my leg, right? I know, silly. Well, I gave up, obviously, and I went to the front desk to get a new razor. Well, I got dressed first, and then I got the razor, and I completed my task, all good. As I was drying with a towel, my one toe on my foot was very sore, and it gave me a chance to pause. As I paused, I remembered the head of that razor had fallen off, and I had put it back on, apparently upside down. You probably figured that out already, right? But that took that pause for me to notice. So, perhaps, thinking that there's something wrong that needs to be fixed, perhaps what's upside down is my thinking. So that's today's message, upside down thinking. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, said thoughts are things, and they have definite effects. Have you noticed? But here's the thing about thoughts. The ones that have the greatest effect are the thoughts that we have thought again and again and again, and the ones that are backed up by strong emotions, lots of feeling. Those are the ones that really take effect in our life. And those thoughts, thought over and over again with a lot of feeling behind them, become solidified in us as our beliefs. And so I'd like to address two upside-down beliefs that I think have become very prevalent in our world, and that if we would look at them right side up, correct that thinking, that it would go a long way for the healing that we're seeking in our lives. So the first one that comes to mind is this very prevalent belief: I am only human. I'm only human. And humanity, by definition, is fundamentally broken and fallen. Now, I know we're in a unity church and we're well beyond that belief, but I want to just speak to the prevalence of this in our world. You know it, do you not? This religious message, this belief, has been given to us by our first families, by our churches, by our schools, by our communities. And whether or not we're conscious of it, it permeates the collective consciousness. Would you agree? In the world around us. So this is the challenge, that when I perceive that this is the truth about life, this is my belief, then it has some definite effects, right? I believe, therefore, if I believe that humanity is fundamentally broken and fallen, then I believe that I require a deity to fix me and to save me. It's logical, isn't it? And it's what we see in the world around us. And to fix us, sometimes that deity punishes us. And sometimes that deity rewards us. This is the basic foundation for so much of religion in the world and so much of what we have been given to see. And this is a challenge, isn't it? Because it sets us up with a deity that we have to appease, that we have to plead with, right? It sets us up for that kind of relationship with a God that acts a lot like a human being. So for me, to dispel that idea, to look at it differently, to understand a greater truth, to turn it right side up is very important. Because as long as I stay in that energy, I do not experience the power that God is and that I am. Correct? And so for me, you know, we go down this rabbit hole when we misperceive God in this way. Because to turn God into a human being is to make of God a capriciousness, right? Because who does God save? Right? Who does God save? What are the conditions upon which God saves? We start getting into all kinds of, not just theological waters here, but identity. Our identity. Do we need, really, is humanity broken? Is humanity fallen? Let me tell you a story. I met my grandson last March, 2 weeks before COVID closed down. They live in a different town. I had to fly in, and Kai was 3 weeks old. I got to see him just before I could no longer see him for a while. So I had this experience of holding my first and one and only right now grandchild in my arms. He was so new that he was still unfurling from the womb, you know, still learning how to stretch out that little body. And I beheld every little wrinkle in his knuckles. I beheld the movement of his lips and his eyes. I was dazzled by his presence. And I had this thought that I know everyone holds when we behold a newborn baby. I thought, God help you, you miserable little sinner. Oh, come on. Do you know anyone who has ever had that thought in the presence of beautiful, fresh, new human life? But what are we told? This religion tells us that that's the fallen nature, that we're born in sin. Cannot be, right? We know it intuitively that it cannot be the case. And yet there's this worm of belief that we have been given, that I believe we must turn around. So that's upside down thinking to the nth degree. Do you agree? So to turn that around, we must come to appreciate the reality that I am 100% human and I am 100% divine. And that means that I am whole. that I am an integrated whole. I'm not one or the other. I'm not pieces and parts, right? That I am an intact wholeness. And that is an important, it's not just important, it allows me to claim my identity and the power that I am as a divine human. I am 100% human, 100% divine. And therefore, I have pre-wired, I have fully loaded all the important spiritual software that is necessary for me to meet any need in my life. Do you believe that? I am fully loaded with every power, with every capacity, with every spiritual tool that ever could be, because I am not separate, could never be, from all that God is. This is the truth. And does that change the way I live my life? The way I think and the way I act? Of course it does. I see myself differently when I understand that. So the second misperception, the second upside down belief, is a little trickier, and I want to say it this way. It is the belief that healing happens to me. Take a breath around that. Healing happens to me. And here's what I want to say. When I believe that healing happens to me, it's easy for me to fall back into that default given understanding that I don't have the power to heal, that healing has to be given to me. And then it sets me up for a deity, again, a human-like figure of a deity that is either going to heal me or not heal me. Do you see what I'm saying? That it sets me up to see God as capricious or transactional or calculating or cruel even. Because haven't you noticed, I certainly have, that some things heal and some things haven't healed. And sometimes some people heal and some other people don't heal. And sometimes people die when other people heal from the same conditions. Have you noticed? And so to give God the responsibility, as if God was a human-like being, to say, God, you heal me, is to set us up with this perplexing question of under what conditions does God heal and who does God heal? So we end up with a conditional kind of God that we have to plead with, or we have to follow a certain path that somebody tells us is God's path for us, or we have to pray and we have to gather a whole team of prayer warriors enough to get God's attention. Or we have to suffer sufficiently or long enough for God to act. We don't do any of that consciously. You know what I mean? We don't do it consciously. But pay attention. Have I done this sort of unconsciously? Because here's the issue. Underneath the surface lies these primary beliefs that had been given to us. They only show up by default now because we've grown in our conscious awareness of what God is and what God is not, and what we are and what we are not, haven't we? We've grown in that awareness, and yet when times are tough, when we're undergoing a stress, when we have an unwanted condition, it's very easy, it's very tricky, because we can fall back into that kind of thinking where we feel powerless to heal. So what's the right side up of this? What do? Okay, instead of saying healing happens to me, I heal. Say it to yourself, just silently. I heal. I heal as I realize wholeness. There is a principle of wholeness that God is. So to make of God not a person, but a principle, Myrtle Fillmore, also co-founder of Unity, said that God is not a person. God is a principle. Not cold-hearted like mathematics, she said, but the life principle, the love principle, the wisdom principle. You get that? You get that with me. So God is principle, and our job is to take hold of that principle. So to take hold of our life principle, the power of animation, vitality, and presence, to take hold of that principle. Jesus said it this way. He said, "Take up your bed and walk. Take up your crutch and walk." Take hold of divine life principle. That's God, that principle of God. Take it and go and live fully. Live to the best of your ability, no matter what you have believed about your circumstances and the limitations of your circumstances. We have images all around this temple, on these walls here, of testimony of people who were told that they were limited by disability, by accident or injury, or by some way that they were born. And they're proving they're not limited at all. They're living life to the fullest, to the fullness of their abilities. Every one of us can do that, no matter what message we have been given about our helplessness. Do we believe that? Do we believe that we are not in any way powerless in our life? Do we believe that we take up, in other words, we bring out from within us this power of divine life, and that we know that we give life to our intentions, and that we therefore are fully able, that we are every bit whole, 100% human, 100% divine. And that means we can feel the feelings that we have when something unwanted happens, because feelings are part of our natural system. We just don't act based on those feelings. That's all. Feelings are indicators. They're not directors. They're not meant to be directors of our life, right? I have sometimes acted from feelings alone. Have you? And it's not always pretty what happens when I do that. So I feel the feelings. I learn from my feelings. I ask what's going on with me. I understand my feelings. And then I pivot. This is where we have our power. We pivot to the divine identity of us, right? The human of us feels deeply. We feel it. We honor those feelings. But then we pivot our awareness. We have a pivoting power to turn toward our divine nature and to recognize that we are whole, that we are unbroken, that we are intact, and we are fully alive. And in that awareness, we are empowered for our life. Are you with me in that? So for a moment, close your eyes and tell yourself the important right side up messages. I am 100% human and 100% divine. I am whole, intact, complete in every way. I am the power of wholeness itself. I am fully loaded with every spiritual software needed for my life. I take up the power of wholeness, and I live fully. fully in my body, in my mind, in my spirit, in every way. And so it is. And so it is, friends. Are we clear? Are we good? I celebrate your life and all that you are. And I'm so grateful to celebrate Sunday with you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Linda. That was beautiful. Shall we give her another round of applause? Thank you for sharing that light with us. What I'm going to be taking away with that is I am 100% human. I am 100% divine. I am a divine human. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And then for what you can do, again, like really think about what that upside down thinking looks like for you and how you can turn that right side up this week and the weeks ahead. Also, just as a quick note, Reverend Linda is going to be selling her new book, It's Your Life? This Life is Yours. Thank you. She's going to be selling it in the back and also signing it. So if you'd like to get your signed copy today, you can go ahead and do so after service. And now, of course, as you know, we believe deeply in the spiritual law of giving and receiving, and it is your opportunity to give in gratitude. So there are envelopes for you available if you're in the room, or if you would like to go green by texting UOTB to the number 73256, which is also available for you on the screens. I'm going to give you a few moments to prepare your gratitude offering in silence before we bless our gifts. We're grateful for your gifts and for your generosity. And now let's take a moment to bless our gifts together with our offertory blessing. We say, divine love that I am blesses all that I give and all that I receive. Amen. So for our children that have been in the kids zone today, or for our kids who have been in the service today, let us take a moment to bless them, shall we? We know that we have the power to bless, so you can bring your hands together, kind of activate some energy, extend your palms out. Also blessing the child within each of us. With our children's blessing, we say, children, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, we behold the Christ in you, and we see you doing great things. Amen. Remember, friends, that we are here to pray with you. If you need prayer, you can drop your comment in the chat. Our prayer chaplains will be holding your prayer requests in their hearts throughout the upcoming days. If you are here in the center, you can visit with any of our prayer chaplains who are coming forward and meet and pray with them at the prayer nooks for your moment of prayer. So I'm going to ask Reverend Linda to come back up to the stage, and we're going to close with our prayer for protection, followed by our peace song. Okay. Prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.